During the okay, so this is going to be based on World One. During the 1700s and 1800s, millions of Europe left their no, I think this is immigration colony. Here, I'll put it in this, but here I'll put it in the thing. But during the 1700s and 1800s, millions of Europe left their homes and head for the American frontiers. Some came looking for an adventure, others came to get away from difficulties. All of them hoped to find a better life. Why West? And I'm just gonna go and let it start playing. I'll let the thing play some. Oh, God, I'm so sorry. I'm supposed to turn my computer sound. I'll read it one more time. Sorry, guys. Here.
European settlers and American citizens from the East found many reasons.
Let's see. Go right here. States.
Homes. Factors like these pushed Europeans out of their home countries and into America. They also pushed people away from the eastern states.
There were also pull factors. A pull factor is a reason for moving to an area, cheaper land, and access to. Okay, my computer get kind of off. There were also pull factors. A pull factor is the reason people have for moving to an area, cheaper land, and access to natural resources. Pull people from Europe to America. They also pull. Okay, stop right there. The Irish. Here.
There were also
There.
They also pulled settlers to new lands in places like Ohio and Kentucky. Settlers discovered salt resources near Lake Erie in the 1800s. Clay and shale mined by European settlers were used in the brick industry in the early 1800s. Limestone was used for whitewashing and plastering. Trees were both a blessing and a curse. Forests made it hard for farmers to clear the land, but the wood was useful for building houses, barns, and fences. The settlers began cutting down trees, and a booming lumber industry sprang up. The Irish. Because of the Irish potato famine in the 1840s, around 1 million people died due to starvation or disease. Over 1.5 million Irish people moved to North America. By the time they came to North America, most of these immigrants had nothing but a few pieces of clothing. They often took hard jobs working in factories, building railroads, or working on canals. They also faced discrimination because of their Catholic faith. The English. Many people from England moved to America after the American Revolution. They saw all the land that was available and decided to take advantage of it. The population growth in Britain was also a problem. A panic broke out when people thought the population was growing faster than the. During the 1700s and 1800s, millions of Europeans left their homes and headed for the American frontier. Some came looking for an adventure. Also a problem. A panic broke out when people thought the population was growing faster than the food supply. Land in America looked pretty good. After the War of 1812, more English immigrants came to work in the United States. The English didn't suffer from discrimination like the Irish did. A lot of Americans had come from England or had ancestors who came from England. They shared the same religion and customs as many of the first settlers. The Germans. Many Germans immigrated to the United States because of political unrest. A failed revolution caused a lot of Germans to think that their government would never be able to solve their problems. They came here and started working on farms and building canals. German communities formed between Pennsylvania and the Mississippi River. Other German immigrants, many of them Jewish, went to cities to find work. German Jews experienced discrimination because their religion was different from that of most settlers. They suffered many of the same kinds of discrimination as the Irish. German immigrants to the United States brought customs that many Americans still practice today. Our changing population. Large groups of Irish, English, and German immigrants came to the United States between 1789 and 1850. They were not the only groups to come. People from all over the world have come to our country to make a new life. People are still moving here today. Our population has become more diverse. America is made up of different races, religions, and languages. Ask your grandparents and great-grandparents or other older family members if they remember any stories about coming from other countries. It's amazing what older people know and what they can share with us if you ask. They can tell you about cultural traditions, funny relatives, and the way things used to be.
Okay. Is your